Hogmanay is the Scots word for the last day of the year, and is celebrated in true Scottish style, with family and friends. There are also various events which take place around the country, from torchlight processions and street parties to live music. Here's how to celebrate like Scots. The bell is the phrase used to describe the midnight hour when New Year's Eve becomes New Year's Day. Ula Sang is a song to celebrate the start of the new year at the stroke of midnight. First footing is a tradition in Scotland that describes the first foot in the house after midnight. Traditional gifts include a lump of gold to place in the hot fire with shortbread, black bun, and whiskey to celebrate the New Year's Eve. Pancake Day, or Rube Tuesday, to give it its proper name, is the Tuesday 7 weeks before Easter. The traditional meaning of Rube Tuesday comes from it being the day before Lent begins. It was the last chance for people to eat whatever they chose before they began to fast, and was an opportunity for them to eat whatever was left in the pantry or kitchen. As well as cooking pancakes, there are many activities and games that are held in Britain. The most popular are pancake races. In these races, competitors run a short track, maybe 100 meters or so, while flipping a pancake in their frying pan. If you drop the pancake, you have to stop and pick it up. The winner is whoever completes the race first, with your pancake still intact. St. Patrick's Day is a cultural and religious holiday held annually on March 17. Named after the patron saint of Ireland, St. Patrick, the day celebrates Irish heritage with food, parades, drinks, Irish law, and an assortment of green-colored things such like a green beer. People through Ireland hold parades and festivals that celebrate Irish culture. Local musicians often perform during the festivals. Week-long festivals of Irish visual and performing arts and music are held in many regions. The atmosphere is welcoming and friendly. Boxing Day. The origin of the name Boxing Day is not fully known, and there are many theories. Traditionally, it was a day when employers distributed money, food, clothes, or other valuable goods to their employees. For many people, Boxing Day is a time to recover from the excess of Christmas Day and an opportunity to spend time with family, friends, and neighbors. Some people choose to go for a walk to the countryside, while others flock to the post-Christmas sales that often begin on Boxing Day. Boxing Day is also an important day for sporting events. Remembrance Day in the UK is the 11th of November, and it is the day when we honor of those who died fighting for their country. Remembrance Day is in November because the armies to mark the end of World War I was signed by the Allies and Germany at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November of 1918. Originally, it was called Armistice Day, but was later renamed Remembrance Day after the World War II. To mark Remembrance Day, people in the UK wear red poppies attached to their clothes, usually their coat. The main ceremony to mark Remembrance Day happens at the Centre Path in Whitehall, London, and the Queen lays a wreath there. As well as great people will place small wooden crosses to the honor for the family members. Good Fox Day celebrates the failure of the Good Fox and his accomplices in their plot to kill King James I. The celebration of Good Fox Day began because the government in 1605 enforced a public day of celebration. The public had no choice but to light bonfires and celebrate the failure of the plot. British celebrate Good Fox Day by lighting large bonfires and setting off fireworks. The celebrations are also called Bonfire Night. People may go to organize fireworks displays or have small parties in the gardens. Fireworks are a large part of the celebration, and although the event is on 5th of November. Chips. This comforting, widely loved national dish consists of a freshly fried, hot white fish fillet and large, sliced and fried potatoes. Fillets get dipped in a butter made from eggs, milk, and flour, and are then fried in oil, lard, or beef dripping along with the potatoes. Fish and chips offers accompaniments and sides such as salt, vinegar, ketchup, curry sauce, etc. Bangers and mash, a common British dish consisting of sausage, like bangers, and mashed potato, the mash. Served with onion gravy, bangers and mash is a staple of the country's overall cuisine and is a popular pub dish. The sausage may be pork, beef, or lamb, but one of the most traditional meat sticks is Cumberland sausage, a cold pork sausage from northwestern England. Full English breakfast. Breakfast may begin with orange juice, cereals, and sweetie or fresh fruits. The heart of the full breakfast is bacon, eggs, and sausage, also called bangers in the UK. This dish is usually accompanied by grilled tomato, mushrooms, fried onions, toast, and marmalade. A cup of tea is popular and traditional drink with breakfast, and of course the coffee. Shepherd's pie and cottage pie. These are two dishes that are very similar. The only difference is the choice of meat used in the dish. In shepherd's pie, you use lamb, whilst in cottage pie, you use beef. And to confuse you even more, neither of these dishes are pies in the usual sense of pastry. Shepherd's pie and cottage pie consist of mince, lamb or beef, vegetables such as carrots, tomatoes, and onions, and potatoes, which are on the top of the meaty pie-like filling. Sunday roast. The Brits love their Sunday roast dinners. The dish is made of roasted meat, like beef, chicken, lamb, or pork, roast potato, Yorkshire pudding, stuffing, and vegetable. Usually a selection of roast turnips, Brussels sprouts, peas, carrots, beans, broccoli, and cauliflower, not necessarily all. And of course, the gravy.
Hi, my name is Humberto and I'm going to talk about the iconic places and the inventions of the United Kingdom. I'm going to start with the disc brake. A disc brake is a type of brake that uses the calipers to squeeze pairs of pads against a disc to create friction to later stop the vehicle. The first caliper type automobile disc brake was patented by Frederick William Lanchester in his Birmingham factory in 1902. The thermoflask. In 1891, James Dewar was working as a scientist at the Royal Institution in London, investigating to achieve a device where the liquid oxygen could be isolated. Dewar continued to refine his invention and built a container with glass interior and exterior walls in a space where he had made the vacuum, thus eliminating the spread of heat by conduction and convection. The telephone. Alexander Graham Bell demonstrated his newly invented device to Queen Victoria. The United Kingdom's first glimpse of the telephone was in September 1876, when Bell's invention was exhibited in Glasgow at the British Association for the Advancement of Science. The reflecting telescope. One of the greatest British inventions comes from one of the greatest scientists of all time. Devised by Isaac Newton in 1668, the reflecting telescope changed the field of astronomy forever. It was designed as an alternative to the refracting telescope, which suffered from several chromatic aberrations. The World Wide Web. English engineer and computer scientist Sir Timothy Jones Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web in 1989. He wrote the first web browser in 1990, while employed at CERN near Geneva, Switzerland. The browser was released outside CERN in 1991. The World Wide Web has been central to the development of the information age and is the primary tool billions of people use to interact on the internet. Light bulb. Although Thomas Edison invented the light bulb in October of 1879, Joseph Swan did the very same thing in January of the same year in England. He even gave a public demonstration in Sutherland, 10 long months before Edison in the US. He also patented his idea 10 years before. Swan even won a court case for the patent infringement in the United Kingdom. Big Ben. Big Ben is the nickname for the great bell of the striking clock at the north end of the Palace of Westminster in London, and is usually extended to refer to both the clock and the clock tower. The official name of the tower in which Big Ben is located was originally the Clock Tower. The tower was designed by Augustus Pugin in a neo-Gothic style. When completed in 1859, its clock was the largest and most accurate four-phased striking and chiming clock in the world. Stonehenge. Stonehenge is a prehistoric monument in Wiltshire, England. 2 miles west of Amesbury, it consists of a ring of standing stones, each around 13 feet high and 7 feet wide, and weighing around 25 tons. The stones are set within earthworks in the middle of the most dense complex of Neolithic and Bronze Age monuments in England, including several hundred tumuli. Archaeologists believe that it was constructed from 3000 years before Christ to 2000 years before Christ. The surrounding circular earth bank and the ditch, which constitute the earliest phase of the monument, have been dated to about 3100 years before Christ. Radiocarbon dating suggests that the first blue stones were raised between 2400 and 2200 years before Christ, although they might have been at the site as early as 3000 before Christ. The Tower of London. The Tower of London is an historic castle of the north bank of the River Thames in central London. It lies within the London Borough of Tower Hamlets, which separated from the eastern edge of the square mile of the City of London by the open space known as Tower Hill. It was founded toward the end of 1066 as a part of the Norman conquest of England. The White Tower, which gives the entire castle its name, was built by William the Conqueror in 1066 and was a resented symbol of the oppression inflicted upon London by the new ruling elite. The castle was also used as a prison from 1100 until 1952, although that was not its primary purpose. A grand palace early in history, it served as a royal residence, as a wall, the tower, a complex of several building sets within two concentrating rings of defensive walls and a moat. The British Museum. The British Museum in the Bloomsbury area of London, United Kingdom, is a public institution dedicated to human history, art and culture. Its permanent collection of some 8 million works is among the largest and most comprehensive in existence, having been widely sourced during the era of the British Empire. It documents the story of human culture from the beginning to the present. It was the first public national museum in the world. It first opened to the public in 1759 in Montagu House on the site of the current building. Its expansion over the following 250 years was largely a result of expanding British colonization and has resulted in the creation of several branch institutions. The first begins the Natural History Museum in 1881. Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge is a combined bascule and suspension bridge in London, built between 1886 and 1894. The bridge crosses the River Thames close to the Tower of London and has become an iconic symbol of London. As a result, It is something confused with London Bridge, about half a mile upstream. Tower Bridge is one of the 5 London bridges owned and maintained by the Bridge House Estates of Charitable Trust overseen by the City of London Corporation. The bridge consists of 2 bridge towers tied together at the upper level by 2 horizontal walkways, designed by withstand the horizontal tension force imposed by the suspended sections of the bridge on the landward side of the towers. Kew Gardens. Kew Gardens is one of the world's most renowned botanical gardens, and it's easy to see why. The huge World Heritage Site is a wonderland home to millions of exotic and rare plants. Visitors can explore a treetop walkway, discover carnivorous plants, and see trees like no others. It's also possible to visit Kew Palace, where you can walk around a royal kitchen and a nature reserve adored by the British royal family.
This is Flora and Fauna from UK. Flora. In the UK, you can find foxes, rabbits, deer, mice, and weasels. The fox has become an iconic animal in the UK. Sometimes you will have found them in the middle of the street, roaming through the garbage or resting on a fenced rooftop. The fox that lives in cities is a phenomenon that does not range 100 years. This species began to invade London. Deer. The UK faces a serious environmental problem. The latest estimate of the 6 deer species that inhabit the British Isles peak of nearly 2 million specimens its ability to reproduce alone with the absence of large predators has led to this population explosion in recent years, endangering the biodiversity of the some regions. Erinaceus. 50 years ago, this small species had at least 36 million individuals in the British. The British Preservation Society a few months ago announced that 20 acres of Elmont Park in Solihull were to be earmarked for a reserve of this animal. Fauna. Natural vegetation made up of 3 types of plant, landscapes, forests, moors, and peatlands. The forests. The forests are made up of deciduous species with oak and beech as the dominant species. There is also an abundance of lime, ash, and birch, but most of the forests are made up of fast-growing repopulation species, pine, larch firs, etc. These are crops in which only 1 tree species is present and very few shrubs. However, the tree is present throughout the country. It is a part of edges that close cultivated fields or small, isolated bushes in the uncultivated areas of each region. Timors, the green moors, and the mountain meadows have a greater extensions, especially in Wales and Scotland. Most of them are anthropic origin for use as pastures and agricultural. The characteristic land is formed by heather and blueberry. Green moors are another form of moorland, whose dominant herbaceous Species varies depending on humidity. The morphs appear with the altitude, so they are present through the country. And petlands. Petlands have more precise location, the lowlands and the western coastal areas. The largest extension of peatlands is North Ireland, where they grow to be more than 6 meters thick. A distinction is made between box peatlands and acidic soils such as Tows in Scotland and fence peatlands on basic soils such as Tows in the southern England. This is a TV show from UK. The Chase. The Chase is a British show that made quiz to people. Bradley Walsh, consistent playing against a professional known as the Chaser, while attempts to prevent them from winning a cash prize. Inside the factory explores how a specific product is made inside a factory. The series is a present by Greg Wallace and Cherry Haley with historian Ruth Goodman providing a look at how products come to exist as we know them today. The X Factor. This program searches for the best singer in the country. The originally British show is now a broadcast on ETV and started in 2004. Skins, the shows that change teen TV for the better. Skins follow the lives of a group of teenagers. It covers dark and complex themes like mental illness, substance abuse, dysfunctional families, and more. The Paul O'Grady Show is a British comedian chat show presented by comedian Paul. The program is a daytime chat show consisting of a mixture of celebrity guests, comic stunts, music performance, and occasionally weird competition. Outlander. This is a same drama which is adapted from a book by Diana Gabaldon of the same name. Produced by Sony Pictures Television and Left Bank Pictures for Stars, which premiered on August 9. This is Entertainment from UK. Virtual reality is the newest experience in the world, most existing from Entertainment. Virtual reality places you inside artificially created interactive and environments that allow you to walk a plank. It Hadrian's Wall is was named UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. Across Hadrian's Wall, local partners have been working hard to put measures in place that will help keep people safe and enable them to enjoy Hadrian's Wall again. Tourists and hospitality providers, attraction, restaurants, pubs, and accommodation who are much of the living landscape and livelihood of the wall are now able to welcome you back once again for every night stay meals with loved ones to visit sites all with a prepared safety misery. Although much of the wall, trails and cyclist have remained open and visiting this place remains the same. Visit certain sites at this time may be little different to before, with the pre-booking record for visitors, information on how to do this quickly and easily, and links to each site can be found below. Enjoying theatre and arts are very important part of the UK. And going to see a musical is often the highlight of a trip. If you visit London's fabulous West End, which is a home to many theatres. Go to music festivals. Music lovers can visit Reading or Leeds in late summer. There are large number of music festivals in the United Kingdom, covering a wide variety of genres. Some of the UK music festivals are world renowned and have been held for many years, including the world's largest Greenfield Festival. Fish and chip. One of the favorite dishes of the British is the fish and chip. The UK may not have a very good reputation for food, but you know that it's not really you will find any type of cuisine that is in the restaurants, and there is always the exquisite food from the street stalls and traditional coffees that are all over the country. Traveling to the Cornwall. Traveling to the Cornwall. Cornwall is a home to the Eden Project, a far-reaching high-speed train service run frequently from London Paddington Station, including the Night River Sleeper service to Pence's. There are also direct trains daily from Bath and Bristol to Cornwall and its branch lines. More info